Okay, welcome back. If you've been to the channel before, if this is your first time, and I think there's going to be quite a few of y'all, welcome. And thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Been trying to get to 1,000 subscribers ever since I started YouTube, and I'm finally here. So thank you guys so much. That's awesome. So my next goal is to get to 4,000 hours watched. I'm at 240 hours. Um, so that's probably going to take a little time. Who knows? We'll find out. But the reason to do that is because then I can turn on I don't know. I can start collecting money from YouTube, I believe, or at least apply to collect money from the ads. So that's been my whole goal, or at least one of my goals with this YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much for helping me get this far, and I appreciate everything you guys kind of do for me and watching and stuff. So thank you so much. Um, so this this project is something I've had in the back of my mind for a while. Um, I've always just what it is I want to build, or I need an area where I can work and put my tools, like a shed, like a big shed. But every time we look into getting to a shed, it's just too expensive, um, and it's just not happening. So I haven't had a place to really work for a while now, and I've been working out of my Toyota Corolla, and that's been working just fine. But it would be great to have a nice little spot to put all my tools and maybe have a workbench. So that's my plan with one of these trailers is I'm going to kind of make it into like a little miniature shop that I could potentially pull places, but it's really not meant to be. Yeah, it's not the idea to pull it places and work necessarily. But the idea is to like just have a spot at my house where I can go if it's raining or if the sun's out, or just a spot to store my tools and lock them up safely, um, and then use them at the same time when I need to. So, and then what's kind of cool about this is that when I move, I can just take it with me. So I'm not gonna, right now, I'm thinking I'm not gonna frame it in like with wood necessarily. I mean, like the 2x4s. I think I'm just going to, well, my idea is I want to like build like 2 inch by 2 inch like square inch tubing, like 4 feet apart, um, and put like 4 by 8 foot of like plywood over that that I can also like swing out though, like wings kind of. So it'll be like an overhang basically, so that I can have some airflow, so I can use things and like big pieces of wood or metal that normally wouldn't fit in like an 8 foot wide trailer would now be able to like you could get it in there and maneuver it around because the giant openings, the 4 foot by 8 foot openings. um I think that would be kind of cool. So that's my idea, is like to make the skeleton of it like 2 inch by 2 inch square metal tubing. I don't know how thick I'm gonna go yet. No thicker than a quarter inch. That's plenty thick. That'd be way too thick probably. Um, and expensive. So just kind of make the skeleton out of the metal maybe, and then put wood elsewhere. And as far as insulation, I mean, since I'm doing it like that, I don't know if I'm gonna like insulate the floor or anything like I've been seeing on all these other tiny home videos. Um, but so yeah, so that's one trailer. One trailer I think I'm gonna make into a shop, and then the other trailer I'm going to make into like a tiny home. Um, that hopefully this is, I guess it's gonna this these are some long projects. I'm gonna work on this the workshop one first because I think that one's going to be the cheapest one to get done. But then the tiny home, I want to get that done just so that I can take it somewhere out in the woods or something, and it would be like an RV kind of. Um, Maybe even with like solar panels, or I don't know, just kind of make like a little camper out of it. I'm thinking, not, I don't know, I don't think it would be like a tiny home. Maybe it would be a tiny home, because it wouldn't be a bad idea, in my opinion, to go out and live off grid. Because right now it's almost like no matter how much money you make, it's not enough. You hear about people making 150,000 a year and living paycheck to paycheck. I just had my best year ever with my business. Not that it was like that great, but still my best year ever, and it's still tough. So it's like, man, I feel like it's only gonna get tougher. And I don't know, living off grid is sounding like better and better every day. And if I had a little tiny home to get me out there, and there's some shelter right there while I build a better shelter, that doesn't seem like too bad of an idea, especially with that new Netflix movie that's out. But I guess like Obama had a part in making with that whole, like, I guess like the electrical grid goes down or whatever happens. Like that's not good, because if that happens, they say, I don't know. They say if that happens, like within the first year, like a whole bunch of the population would die. Um, so I don't know. It's always, I'm an Eagle Scout, so it'd be nice to be prepared, like I'm supposed to be. And if things did go bad, you know, and you're already out there in the woods sustaining yourself and making your own electricity or doing without, then you'd be unaffected, it seems like. So I don't know, just an idea. Who knows? I reserve the right to change my mind. So as far as the video is concerned, these trailers, I've been looking for trailers for a while, just haven't had really enough money. I came across these two trailers um, from a customer of mine, and they just wanted to get rid of them. So they gave me a heck of a deal that I couldn't turn down. And they stacked one on top of the other, and I pulled it home. Um, and then I just decided, let's get them cleaned up, see what we're working with. So that's what I did. I swept them up. I hit them with a pressure washer, also so I could see where the screw holes were, so I could remove the wood planks. But it turns out that was I don't know. I don't regret cleaning them because I don't know. I was thinking I could maybe reuse some of the wood if it wasn't so bad. It turns out like 99% of it was just, it was bad. It's good enough to pull some lawnmowers on top of with all that support. But as far as building anything out of it, other than like a little garden, that'd be the most it's good for. So I saved a couple pieces to make a garden, or to expand my little garden. But I cleaned it up just to see if any of it was salvageable and if I could remove the screws from it to make it easier, because there's screws holding it down to a couple spots here and there. But for the most part, those ended up just pulling right through the wood because it's so rotted and old. So I ended up just pulling out all the wood, because if I'm going to do this, I want to do it right. I want to make it last as long as I can. So I'm not going to just build over crap. And I'm glad I did remove all this wood, because I found some rusty areas that, in my opinion, needed a lot of, needed some love before you could, you want before you build on top of it. So this project, I know it's going to take some time, so I just gotta not rush through it and make sure I'm just doing a good job, is what I keep telling myself. So I removed all the wood, and then I go around and like, I cut off all the screws that were sticking out with like a cut off saw, angle grinder thing. Cut those off and just inspected everything just to see what I'm dealing with, to see, like, did I just make like a big mistake? Like, what did I just get myself into? Um, so took a couple days looking at it, and then I just started to, like, okay, let's just start seeing if we can get this rust to stop. And I took a air hammer, which you won't see in the video. I didn't record it. It didn't take too long. I just was like, oh, let's just try this to knock off some big pieces of rust, because this is all a learning process for me. And yeah, I went around the edges there, that, the parts that are connected to the axles, and I just hit them with the right next to the fenders there. And I just hit it with that air hammer and knocked off all the really big pieces of rust. Um, and then later in the video, you'll see that I start to grind away with the cutoff saw, try and grind away more of the rust and get down to like the bare metal, I guess. Like, my biggest thing is just getting rid of the rust. Because I guess if you paint over rust, it's just going to come right back through. Um, so trying to get rid of as much as the rust as possible. So you see that I hit it with I've tried different things. I've tried just a regular grinder blade, and tried the wheel wire brush thing. So the best thing that's worked for me so far is hitting it with the cut. Hit it with that air hammer. Go at it with the cutoff saw, and then I used a wire brush, which be super careful with those things. I guess with everything, be careful if you're going to do this. Use the wire wheel, and then there was still like some pitting left from the rust, so I used a sandblaster and got rid of most of it. Not all of it, but almost all of it. Um, and then some parts I kept hitting it with the sandblaster, it wasn't going away, so that's why that happened. But I hit it with the sandblaster, you'll see, and then blow everything off and put some Rust-Oleum like paint on it, and I think it's enamel. And so far, so good. As far as like we've had some rainstorms, and I don't see any rust spots coming through. I'm sure it's going to be a little time before I get everything done, so I'll be able to see if the rust is coming through. I believe before I even start getting the floor ready. Uh, if you all have any suggestions, please put them down in the comments. Because it's like I said, this is the first time doing this. It's a learning experience. Uh, I have very little knowledge of what I'm doing, other than things I've done in the past. Like I'm decent at welding, decent at metal fabrication, but I've never really built anything like this before. So it's all new to me. Um, Even figuring out the best way to get rid of the rust is new to me, and painting it is all new to me. So if you guys are professionals or have done this before and have suggestions, I'm all ears. Um, So the rest of the video is me just removing the wood from these two trailers, and then starting to grind it down a little bit, and do that whole process and get a little bit painted, like I was talking about earlier. Um, so I'll give you guys some updates here and there with this project as it goes on. I'm definitely gonna do other videos uh, be- uh, as well as this. Like I have another knife video I'm working on, which I'm super excited about. And of course, I'm still working out, and trying to get healthy is what I'm trying to do. Is just as healthy as possible, um, or just healthy. So happy New Year to everybody. I hope it's a wonderful year for everybody. I really, really do. Um, God bless everybody. I love you guys. Uh, Take care. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That'd be awesome. I'd really appreciate it.